Welcome back. Forum Daily's weekly market update with Catherine Murray is up next. Catherine is the host of the Buck Stops Here, and she joins us now to give us her take on the markets. Take it away, Catherine.
Thanks, Nima. Hello, everyone, and welcome to your weekly market recap. I'm Catherine Murray. Well, we are seeing North American markets trade lower today, somewhat mixed, but mostly lower. Energy really the big laggard. This, of course, follows WTI, which is down by about 3.4%. So the stocks are also following the price of WTI lower. We're also watching copper down by about 3% today. A number of items really weighing on sentiment. We do have central bankers tightening once again, specifically the ECB hiking by 50 basis points. That is higher than expected. It was 25 basis points that was anticipated by the market. So continued concerns in terms of the liquidity being taken out of the broader equity markets. Also, we have political uncertainty stemming out of Italy, so weighing on the risk-off sentiment today. And also, of course, we are concerned about hiring freezes. This is some of the commentary that we're hearing out of second quarter conference calls from various CEOs. So a little bit of weighing on the broader equity market sentiment. But we are also hearing from CEOs post the conference calls talking about solid demand for the back half of 2022. Inflation, of course, continues to be a real headwind for many companies across nearly every industry. And we also have a tight labor market and concerns surrounding capacity constraints. So all of that really weighing on the market today. In terms of the economic data that we've been watching, initial jobless claims did come in higher than anticipated, so a bit of a negative there. And the Philly Fed survey came in less than anticipated and really saw a contraction within new orders. So a bit of an economic data point to the downside. In terms of stocks to watch, we're keeping our eyes on Tesla, of course. They did beat the street estimates and came in better than feared. And the stock is moving higher to the tune of 7%. But they are having operational challenges, which we do believe will be somewhat transitory. Management, importantly, did rate 50% volume growth target. So that is helping the stock today. In terms of other earnings to take note of, Las Vegas Sands, as we know, a lot of people are traveling. Demand is up. There's no doubt about that. They did report better than expected earnings, specifically Macau, not as bad as feared. And the stock was also upgraded over at Wells Fargo. So that stock's trading up by about 5% post their earnings. Another area to watch within the marketplace is what's going on with steel. Nucor as well as Steel Dynamics are both up respectively to the tune of about 10%. They did come in better than expected on the Nucor front and STLD as well. We're also keeping our eyes on Philip Morris as well as CSX. Both of those stocks are up by about 4% post their earnings results. As we look at the TSX, it is trading lower. As I mentioned, WTI is down by over 3%. Obviously, the energy sector in Canada has a greater weighting than what we see in the United States, so it certainly is putting a little bit of an impact on the TSX. Inflation is very much in focus. We saw CPI number in Canada of 8.1%. Interestingly, that was less than expected. So there is some thought that perhaps we're seeing some peak inflation. But BOC's Macklem is saying that we are going to continue to see above 7% inflation all year. Many economists do disagree with the view that we could see a soft landing in Canada. That is the view from the BOC. But again, as I mentioned, many economists don't quite agree with that. In terms of earnings results in Canada, one that I would point out, Mullen Group, MTL, that's up 10% post their most recent results, and certainly a stock to watch. Nima, I'll leave it there. Back to you.
All right, thanks for that, Catherine. Again, that was Catherine Murray, host of the Buck Stops Here, which airs Sundays in the morning at 9 a.m. Eastern on the News Forum Network. All right, well, meanwhile, the outlooks remain unclear for the status of a major natural gas pipeline from Russia to Europe. Natural gas has started flowing again after a 10-day shutdown for maintenance, but the flow through the Nord Stream 1 pipeline remains well short of full capacity. That leaves Europe still facing the prospect of a hard winter and uncertain Russian gas supplies. The European Commission proposed this week that its 27 nations cut their gas use by 15% over the coming months. Turning to a deal struck by Amazon to acquire the primary care organization One Medical. The company announced the move on Thursday in a deal valued at roughly $3.9 billion, which marks another expansion for the retailer into the healthcare services sector. The Seattle-based e-commerce giant said in a statement it will acquire One Medical for $18 per share in an all-cash transaction. Neil Lindsay, the senior vice president of Amazon Health Services, said in a statement that the acquisition is geared at reinventing the healthcare experience, from things like booking an appointment and taking trips to a pharmacy. Forum Daily will be right back after the break with a look at major news and headlines from around the world as Italy's premier resigns and India gets a new president. We'll have these stories and more after the break.